Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Grand Theft Auto 5 running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5600H. Now this is running on the Beelink SER5 mini PC, which has been a mini PC that I've been testing a lot and I've been really enjoying. And I'm constantly impressed by the types of games that you can actually get really nice performance on. Now, GTA 5 at this point is pretty much a decade-old game, but it still remains one of the most played games in the world. Now, I know a lot of people that do testing with computer parts end up only ever showing you the single player, and let's be real, most of us aren't really playing the single player. I say us, but realistically, I am one of those people that only plays the single player. I just like driving around in this open world and just being able to shoot cops and or people. It's almost therapeutic, really. But you can see here on the screen the exact settings that I'm using to run the game right now. It's a mix of essentially the normal and high and some even very high settings. It's pretty much what the game defaulted to, and really I had no reason to switch off of this because the level of performance that we were getting is really fantastic. We're looking at pretty much what is around a 50 FPS average with 1% lows that on occasion drop into the 30s, but for the most part stay around 40. And the results that we're getting out of this are just super smooth, super nice to play. You can of course mess with the settings to bring them down even lower if you want to boost the performance a bit, if you really want to hit that 60 FPS average, or if you want those 1% lows to get as close to 60 as possible. But I feel like for the single player, this level of performance is perfectly fine. It felt really great to play and it looks nice, and it's really just impressive levels of performance. For a mini PC that you can get for around $350 on sale, there really isn't much to complain about here. And even going all the way up to $400, it's really hard to find another mini PC that is competitive in terms of the level of performance that we get here. And considering that we still don't have very many 16,000 series mini PCs that actually have RDNA 2 that are anywhere near this price point, this is really great value for money right here, and the level of performance again is just really nice here. But like I said earlier, most of us aren't really actually playing the single player in this, and there is actually a difference in terms of performance when we compare the single player and the multiplayer. So we can actually jump onto GTA Online right now and actually take a look at what the performance numbers are like. And like I said before, I'm not really much of a GTA Online player. I've never really been much of a fan of it, but hopping on and going through the open world and just doing the whatever side missions I could find on the side, the level of performance that I was getting on here with the exact same settings that I used with the single player, the performance was noticeably worse than what you're seeing on the screen right now. If you're going to play GTA Online, what I would recommend is that you drop all of the graphics settings down to just normal. So anything that was set to high or very high, you just drop down to normal, and you're going to get essentially the equivalent level of performance as we did in the single player, just with higher settings. If we kept the exact same settings as we did with the single player, what you're going to be looking at is more around a 40 FPS average with 1% lows that drop into the 30s. So in general, GTA Online is playable, though you do have to sacrifice a little bit in terms of visual quality, but still the game looks perfectly fine. It's perfectly playable. You're going to have a great time playing like this. Unfortunately, 60 FPS is not really going to be something that is going to be achievable unless you're willing to sacrifice a bit on resolution, but I genuinely don't think that it is necessary. The game is still going to be perfectly fine like this, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of missions or heists or anything like that that are in more enclosed interior areas, because then at that point you are going to be at essentially a above 60 FPS average. But in the worst case scenarios, we're pretty much looking at really rock solid performance, and you're going to have very little to complain about. In general, these higher TDP Ryzen chips actually give a lot of performance, and AAA games are actually playable at the full 1080p resolution as long as you're willing to go back quite a few years. Modern titles, you're looking at more of a 720p experience, but a lot of the most played games in the world really aren't that demanding, and they're going to work perfectly fine on a system like this. But anyways, I hope you found this look at GTA 5 and GTA Online running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5600H to be useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe. If you're interested in picking up this specific mini PC because you've been curious on what the performance is like before you actually pick it up, you can always check out the link down below. That will of course help support the channel, and that is greatly appreciated as it helps me get more games and of course more equipment to actually start testing. The level of support that I've been getting from you guys just from the affiliate links alone has been tremendous, and it's been extremely helpful, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that actually uses those links down below, especially in months like January and February where the AdSense is just just absolutely abysmal. It's really, really helpful to actually have you guys helping out like that. Of course, channel memberships are enabled as well, so if you're interested in supporting like that, we now also have a essentially $1 tier if you guys would like to just support like that. It's pretty much just $1 a month, and trust me, doing that pretty much helps out a lot, because just to get $1 in terms of views from you guys is pretty difficult, especially in months like this. So if you just want to give $1 a month, you're already helping out tremendously. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one.